Okay, today we're doing a few more scoring categories. If you remember where we left it off, let me just run it. All the upper scoring categories. So we've done the, twos, it does it right. Aces, fours. I have a few bugs in here, so hopefully I don't run into them. There's some sixes. So it looks like my upper scoring categories are all done. Three of a kind. I have 3 sixes. So we've done 3 of a kind. 4 of a kind, probably won't get one, but I'll try. They're pretty rare. I don't have a 4 of a kind. The ones I want to implement today, I guess we did Yahtzee. So my Yahtzee doesn't do anything. Well, it puts in 0 unless you have a Yahtzee, of course. That one's hard to test. But these are the ones that are still left. The full house, the small straight, the large straight, and chance. So we're going to start with chance today. Maybe we'll do full house. But we're getting really close to being done with it, which is kind of neat. So let's do that. We're going to go to our code then. That's the J-frame. I'm going to go to the design. Okay, so we're adding the smarts for the chance button. Chance is what you use when you don't have anything in particular. It kind of gives you an opportunity to get some points. All it does is just add up the dice. Okay, so here's the actual event handler for that. And we want to kind of mirror the stuff we have here. So I'm going to grab all this. Yeah, we're going to grab all of that. We're just going to copy it into here. But this is a lot simpler than Yahtzee. So it's probably good that we initialize the score to 0 for this scoring category. This is Yahtzee. We're going to say, instead, we're going to say chance. We go into the scoring state. And here we don't have to really do much of anything. So we don't have to ask any questions, because chances, you just add up all the dice. So here you would say, you don't need to ask this question anymore. And so we would say game, that's the game model, dot add 'em up. Bad English, but pass in my dice. So now we've calculated the score, because all we do is add all the dice together. We set the category now. And here in the lower score text box away, we're going to use our chance variable as well. See how the constants, I guess they're not variables, you see how the constants help us? We could just put in the actual number, but here we can use the actual name, and it makes it easier to understand. This doesn't change. We want to show the totals. We check to see if we're at the end of the game. Now I think it should work. So just by adding that one thing, I think we have chance working. Let's just try it and see. Okay, so I've got 4s. Here's another 4. Say I just have a bunch of junk, and it doesn't apply to any of the other categories, so I'm going to use my chance right now. Our expectation is 3 times 4 is 12, 17. We're hoping to get 20. Let's see if that was happening. We did. We got 20. And it updated our total for us as well. So that's all you need to do for chance. So that one was easy. The hardest one to do is small straight. But we're going to do that on Monday, I think. But I do want to walk you through trying to determine whether or not it's a full house. So we go over to the game model. Here is of a kind. So maybe this is a good spot to put public Boolean is full house. Now, full house has 3 of one and 2 of another. And it takes my dice as a parameter. That's all you need. You need to have the dice so that you can figure this out. Just like before, it's always helpful to build a frequency table. So we're going to do that. Now remember, a frequency table tells you how frequently a number comes up in that set of dice. For a full house, we're hoping that you have 3 of one and 2 of another. So we're going to loop through the frequency table looking for a 3 and looking for a 2. So up here at the top, I'm going to create 2 local variables. One called found 3. We'll initialize it to false. Found 2. So if you're in the frequency table and you get something other than a 2 or a 3, you know it's not a full house because you have to have a 2 and you have to have a 3. Say you have 3 4s and 2 6s, that's a full house. The frequency table would be blank or at 0 for everything but 4s and 6s. In the 4 slot, it would have 3, and in the 6 slot, it would have a 2. So now we have to loop through our frequency table and see if we can find that. So this is the loop through the frequency table. We're just going to borrow that and modify it for our own purposes down here. Looks like we need a variable I, so let's put that in. Okay, so we're going through the frequency table. Notice that here we're starting with 1. Our frequency table is numbers from 1 to 6, not 0 to 5. That makes sense. So here's where we put the code that changes. If frequency table sub I is equal to 3, we're going to say found 3, and we'll set that equal to true. So if there's a slot in our frequency table that says, hey, I've got 3 of these in this set of dice, we want to set the found 3 flag to true. We want to do the same thing for the other part of the full house, which is the 2 part. So we say found 2. If the frequency table says 2, then we set found 2 to true. Now, in the same iteration, these won't actually occur at the same time, but you're looking for a 3 and you're looking for a 2. And if you get done with this loop and both of these things are true, then you know you have a full house. And now all we have to do for that is tell the calling program that what we found out. So we say return found 3, and then we use our logical operator and found 2. So what we're saying here is if we found a 3 and we found a 2, then we know it's a full house. If both of those are true, it returns true, and then we know we have a full house. We finished the is full house thing in the game model. Now we have to go add that to the user interface. So again, I like to create these event handlers just by double-clicking on the one I want to change. So here's the one I want, full house. So I'll double-click on that. It takes us to the event handler for that one. And again, we're just going to borrow from other places. Where's the one we just did? Yeah, this one is a little simpler, so I'm going to grab that. So we're just replacing the inside of that. So it looks like full house is, yeah, it's 25. We set that we use the full house category. We set the scoring state to, or the UI state to scoring. And here we change this. We say is full house. And we don't need to send in any other parameter other than just the set of dice. is full house. Isn't that what we called it? Oh, I had a capital I. That's the problem. Remember, you only use capital letters for class names. So if it is a full house, then we know that the score, instead of 0, we want to put in 25. And again, the same structure. We just go through and replace the constant. The bottom part doesn't change. All right, saying go. Let's take a look. Say roll. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, that's the worst roll in Yahtzee right there. You don't have a straight, you don't have a small straight, you don't have anything. And nothing repeats. But we're trying to do full house, so let's see if I can actually do one. Here's 6s. Don't think I'm going to make it. No, that's not a full house. So I'll use that for my 3s maybe. I'll quickly see if I can get a full house. There's a 4. We'll keep the 3. Ah, so close. Oh, here's a full house straight away. Okay. So our hope is that when we have a full house, we get 25 points. So I click on it. Sure enough, we get 25 points. Now if I restart the game and I don't have a full house, say like this is not a full house, you want to make sure that when you click on full house, it puts a 0 there. And it does. So now we have full house working as well. So what's still there left to do? Well, we need to do the small straight and the large straight. Our last video is going to cover small straight and large straight, and it's also going to detect the end of game condition. And I don't think we're doing that quite right yet because we haven't got to the end of game yet. So just 2 more categories and the end of game, and then we're done with Yahtzee. See, that didn't take too long. Yeah, we actually been on this program for almost a month and a half. Why did I choose Yahtzee for Java 2? Is so you can see a fully functional game that you can create. How big it is, how much code this takes. If you look at how many lines of code do we have? Are we at the bottom here? Yeah, there it is. So far we have in the frame class 1,291 lines of code. In the game model, about 240 lines. That's a lot of code. Months ago we started with the die class, then we added the dice class, and then we made it grow to our Yahtzee JFrame model, and then finally we added the game model. This is a full-scale project. It's not something you're going to do in a day. I think we've had 15 different things on different days. So I'm excited that we're getting close to being done.